watching another episode of Seeing Sentai, where we're taking a look at Himitsu Sentai Goranger still, and we're still going through episodes 57 through 63. Not a whole heck of a lot of changes. This might be a short episode, so let me just go down the list of the different monsters you saw from week to week. Of course, this is all through 1 week, so our just 1 week. We're looking at Birdcomb Mask, Parabolic Mask, Dead Bird Mask, Shellfish Mask, Cowshoe Mask, and Ribcage Mask. Again, we're just kind of going with monsters that look like the things they're named like, so Birdcomb Mask looks like a chicken, or perhaps a rooster. Parabolic Mask looks like some kind of a receiver, receiving dish, and you can send transmissions and receive transmissions. Dead Bird Mask was actually a pterodactyl, of all things. I guess it's kind of bird-like if you're of the type that believes that dinosaurs just turned into birds. Shellfish Mask was a giant clam, just kind of uncomfortable and creepy. Cowshoe Mask was a large boot, a large leather boot, and he had a very interesting story arc where he actually came up with his own version of Goranger Hurricane, and it turned out to be the Black Cross Hurricane, which was a black ball rather than a nice brightly colored ball, and it got very, very close to being just as powerful as the Goranger Hurricane. And thankfully the Gorangers were able to keep him from learning the exact specified secrets of what makes Goranger Hurricane so very, very powerful, and of course they defeated him as they defeat everybody with Goranger Hurricane. Both Goranger Hurricane and Black Cross Hurricane kind of met in the middle, and as always, you know, these balls transform into different things right at the very end, and they both turned into rhinoceros beetles, you know, the beetles with a big old kind of claw-like antenna sort of attachments coming right out of their foreheads, and they're kind of wrestling each other for a little bit. But the Goranger Hurricane beetle did in fact win in the end, and blow up and destroy Cowshoe Mask. Ribcage Mask was kind of strange because he's already gotten his ribcage, you know, up here where his ribcage should be, but then he's got another ribcage up here where his head should be. So he has two ribcages, a ribcage, and a head ribcage. Kind of bizarre. And that had one of the most amazing ragdoll physics I've ever seen in this series. He's able to use the different segments of his head, his ribcage head, kind of like handcuffs. So he handcuffs Red Ranger's hands together while he's riding on his motorcycle, and his motorcycle, I guess, is right next to a cliff, and he rides the motorcycle off the cliff, and he does this absolutely amazingly stunning tumble down the cliff. That they actually literally drop the motorcycle off the cliff, so this motorcycle's completely trashed, destroyed, but they also strapped this hilarious Red Ranger ragdoll to the motorcycle, and as the motorcycle is flipping, it's just bam, landing square on his back, and you're like, oh my god, what's going on? And the ragdoll is just kind of flailing, and it's falling off the bike and just flopping, and the most comical thing you will ever see, I think. But you can also see right at the beginning of that piece of footage, you can see this guy in very normal clothes, who quite obviously works for Toei, is like leaning back as far as he can while he's holding onto the motorcycle, and then drops it off the cliff. So you can still see, you know, this, basically the stagehand drop the entire motorcycle off the cliff, and just kind of praying to whatever god of his choice that he does not also fall completely down the cliff with this motorcycle and this ragdoll. It's just an amazing piece of footage. Absolutely amazing. I strongly encourage you to go find the episode with Ribcage Mask. And did I mention Television Mask before? Because if not, Television Mask was another one. Television Mask was this most recent episode, episode number 63, and he, of course, yes, has TV for a head, as well as a receiving antenna tower. Very comical as well, because he can receive broadcasts of different weapons, like, for example, a gun, and when he receives this broadcast of a picture of a gun, an actual gun comes out of his face and shoots people. Absolutely hilarious. Just stunningly hilarious. Really, though, I think, going back to Ribcage Mask's story, that particular episode was one of the best episodes I'd seen in kind of a while, where Red Kaijo has been injured by this motorcycle landing on him, and after the motorcycle's landed on him, he goes up to this house and he's asking for a phone, and there's this really pretty lady who answers the door, and she's like, "Nah man, sorry we don't have a phone, but hey, I'll take care of your wounds and I'll get you some food." And he's like, "Sweet." So he drinks some wine that she gives him, and then he like passes out, and they're trying to get information out of him, and they're like, what is this stuff you're carrying? Because he's trying to carry an explosive from one Eagle base to another. "What is this thing that you're carrying?" And Kaijo's always like, I don't know what's in it." And they're like, "You're full of crap!" Always beating him up. It was just a really good, eerie episode because it's kind of a haunted house, and Ribcage Mask has brought this really beautiful girl back from the dead. It's kind of this really cruel thing to do as part of a Black Cross Army plan, is bringing somebody back from the dead just to play as a puppet. It's just really, really mean. And then I really want to say that this current yellow, Daigoro, I am still not seeing anything particularly amazing about him. In fact, finally in these last few episodes, we have seen they started feeding him copious amounts of food, yet again, to illustrate that he's the fat one. So there's still really nothing amazing about this particular character, and I'm thinking within this next week is when we're not going to see him anymore, and we're going to see the old Yellow return, thank God, because this particular Yellow is doing jack squat. So now we only have about 3 more weeks worth of Goranger to go through, and then we're going to move on to the next Sentai series. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with me, but if you have, good job. If not, in another 3 weeks, I'm going to be starting a brand new series, so that's going to be fun for everybody to just kind of jump on top of. In the meantime, I want to say thank you, as always, to the Patreon contributors who have really helped me to do this project and many other projects, and there's still many other projects to come. If you would like to see a request review from me, or you would like to see your name in the credits of one of these videos or any of my other videos throughout the week, please check out patreon.com/MarsGirl, and we'll get you guys set up with that. Thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you for another episode of Seeing Sentai next week.